I do not know how the technology works specifically, but I know it's very similar to just basically a frequency or a little tiny magnet.
One more question. Does the patch get placed in the same place, independent of its desired outcome, or are there different places that you would place it on the body?
There are several ways to place the patch, and it comes with details and instructions. So in certain cases, you are going to try the patch in several locations. Let's say I hurt my arm. There are several key points. What you're going to do is you're going to put these patches on the meridians. The body has an entire network of. It's basically when we talk about the chakra. Imagine an electrical system of wires that run throughout your entire body. Specific points of these electrical systems, you could be just like a little outlet in your house, and those are called the meridians. So we place the patches on those meridians. And if it does not work on the first meridian, we try a second or third one. By the time we get to the third one, that patch is going to work. And it does not have to be in the area of the pain specifically. It just depends on where these meridians are, where the pain is in your body, and how well they intersect with these meridians.
That reminds me, I used my neti pad for the first time in a long time this morning. Just reminds me for some reason. Come on, it's funny. Anyway, so the chakra thing reminded me of that for some reason. So listen, tell us a little about your working and what the response has been for your support for the Proposition 1. I know you guys have been outspoken about it in the local business. Now, I know you're in a specialized area, if I understand, and but isn't it also true that a lot of it's either Grand Rapids or the township or the city, I don't know, they're all blur to me, but during the there was like a local initiative passed. Come on, Jim, help me. What happened?
Yeah, actually, well, here's the thing is, like I said, Grand Rapids is very conservative, but several years ago, out of the blue, I don't even know where it came from, it was on the ballot for the city, a city ordinance, to decriminalize marijuana. And it passed. The mayor supported it, and the entire county council or city council. Like I said, I was surprised by that. And so Grand Rapids, the city of Grand Rapids, has been decrim for probably 3 or 4 years right now. But that is only in the city limits of Grand Rapids. So if you were to cross into any other of the suburbs, surrounding suburbs, which are not, which are very strict areas, like the city of Wyoming. I know that you are familiar with their Supreme Court case to eliminate medical marijuana altogether.
Turbeek is our homeboy.
Yeah, exactly. Who actually owns a pharmacy? That was something. Just to give you an idea, that's the area we're dealing with, where the mayor says, "Hey, he doesn't like cannabis, therefore he's going to outlaw it in his city."
Well, that's not very nice.
No, it's not. And like I said, he owns a pharmacy, so that probably weighed in on his whole thing.
Conflict.
And then that city has also been very difficult with businesses. Businesses have not been able to put up signs in particular locations right by their business. So there's,
You should sue. You should sue. Get some people together and file a lawsuit.
Here's the thing. Why isn't that being done on a national level, considering marijuana's history with the Supreme Court, 1976, federal program for medical marijuana. We know marijuana is a medicine. We have a patent in 2003. Why isn't there a lawsuit against the federal government on marijuana?
I think there has been several, and it keeps ending up back in front of the FDA.
Well, if it means anything, we're planning on suing the pharmacy board and trying to have the state of Michigan declare cannabis as an unscheduled plant.
Which is what it is.
But
okay,
that's the thing we're trying to. But there's a lot of insanity.
Who's the plaintiff in that lawsuit, Michael?
We have several. One is John Sinclair.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
One is we've got some veterans.
Yeah,
we've got some doctors.
Some doctors.
We've got a.
And all of them agree that it should be unscheduled.
and we'd be happy to collect any kind of petitions or signatures or whatever you need at any of our locations on something like that. We're very adamant on getting, marijuana descheduled. And even though it's going to affect our business, this proposition will affect our business. It's already affecting our business, but we're looking more for the rights of the people than basically the profits of our company. In terms of that,
Sure.
marijuana.
And this is an important time right now in really Michigan history, and I'm sure that. Tell us a little bit about some of your experiences. Like, what is there's a lot of different factors I think that influence the political backdrop of that's part of the state. I don't want to speculate. I can't speak for all of it. I'm not a political pundit. I have a general idea of some of the reasons that drive it. I've been out there for cases. I'm drawing my own, jury voir dire opinions of who I want to pick as a juror and what I think of who is who. You know what I mean? But with that being said, it's not always that case. Like my drawing of conclusions related to why certain aspects of the western part of the state would be against legalization, I don't think should be true. Like, for example, there's a large segment of a religious class, religious people that take their religion very, very seriously. For some reason, they're against cannabis. I'm not saying all people are not knocking religion. I know that.
They don't like the
Some
weed.
people would say that the holy anointing oil was cannabis.
I would say
Reverend Steve Thompson would definitely
Reverend
say
Steve
that.
Thompson.
Definitely say that.
Reverend Esteban says so.
Reverend Esteban also has declared.
But can you? Okay, so with that being said, and there may be several other reasons, but just on the issue of the real divide between what we could describe as the church community, clergy especially, and the medical cannabis community. Let's start there. What do we need to do to get these people to the table and, pun intended, smoking the peace pipe?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, this really kind of is as you start to get into it, you do start to see this knot or this web being weaved, and it is a little frustrating because I think traditionally you would see the Republican Party as anti-marijuana and the Democratic Party as pro-marijuana, but that's really not the case. And a lot of religious people who are conservative. So they take on this conservative nature, and therefore, because marijuana is illegal, it is, and not only that, marijuana comes with the stigma. It is the devil's tool.
It is.
When you smoke marijuana, girls want to take their clothes off and just do outrageous things, and just the whole reefer madness type of it's really like this ingrained. It's brainwashing. They brainwashed Americans on this whole stigma with marijuana, so they see it as, and I think that's where it comes from the religion, is they see it as the devil's tool.
Hold on. We know that, in the history of humankind, that is a revision modern version, right? The history of it being used as a medicine, you probably are aware of, and many people have, the various aspects within the Bible itself that may be referring to it. The holy...
Yeah, but that's not what matters.
Hold on, no, but I'm saying, is it really so much the devil's whatever? And if that is true, is there a religious passage somewhere in a holy book that they rely upon? Or is this a newer type of religion that sees it this way? I don't think...
No,
I don't think it's like the Catholic... I don't want to get into the details, but let's just break it. Is there an edict within the Catholic Church someone could speak of?
No,
okay.
There isn't. And but let me tell you,
cannabis.
But as a Catholic, let me tell you about the Catholic Church, and that is that it's composed in a significant way and ran in a significant way by people like my dearly departed grandparents, who I've loved very much. But my grandparents had a certain perception on the world, as did a lot of people from that generation, and it went hand in hand with the whole reason that marijuana was prohibited, which is that there were significant societal issues based deeply in racism, and that the people that are running a lot of these religious institutions and are funding a lot of these religious institutions still have that mindset left over, and it's not consciously racist most times, but it's just what they've always known, and it's difficult for you to know something for your entire life like that, regardless of where it's based, and then just let it go. And as a result, we end up with what we have. And this is nothing new. I mean, Michael, remember when we were at the Detroit City Council and what a nightmare that was?
Yeah, Steve encountered that a little bit, and that's more of a, it may be partially related. And listen, I'm sorry to you guys with the so high. I know you're not here to defend or support or, you know, and I didn't mean to get into the religious thing. I just figured that, you know, it's part of...
That's fine. You know, the thing is this, I was raised Catholic, and I was very strict Catholic, you know, where the priest would get up and, you know, shake his fist and all that. The thing is this, is I think it goes even deeper, because the thing, you have to look at politics as a whole. The religion is politics, and it is run, you know, it is a huge organization. The Catholic Church, I don't know if they still are, but it's one of the wealthiest organizations on the planet. And, you know, so these groups that are sticking together, they stick together. And marijuana has been, you know, somehow just demonized across America in a way that, to me, is shocking, because it was legal and used as cannabis prior to 1937. And then you see the laws that have drastically changed right after 1937. And then a lot of the information that has to say it has nothing to do with cannabis. It has to do specifically with hemp. So I don't know how all this ties in, but I know that, you know, just the Nixon administration specifically said that they want to prevent or they want to control blacks and hippies and Vietnam vets. So they're going to demonize marijuana.
I thought this had nothing to do with Tricky Dick.
No, it's funny that you say that. We named the show exactly that, because, you know, I was in a debate in Monroe County Community College, and one of the spokespeople for, what is it called? Healthy and Productive Michigan. The opponents, this guy Randy Richardville, who is it's been a nightmare.
He is a former Senate Majority Leader and a Class 1 greaseball.
And my opening remarks were, if you're going to think about voting yes or no on Prop 1, don't you think you should ask yourself the question, why was marijuana made illegal in the first place? I went on to a tirade about Nixon, as you just described. And then Randy Richardville said, okay, this proposition isn't about Nixon. You know, it was a good comeback for him, but I later just left. But no, you're right, 100%. We all agree with you here. You're preaching to the choir. It is true. And it's funny, because I feel it's that. It's just that, like, I think, like, it's selectiveness. You know, like if people were really, truly looking at the history of what was going on in a historical way, even religious, not other, you know, there would be much more information that would be available for them to draw a conclusion that it's not just like, you know, church dictated it's bad thing. You know, it's only rising out of, like, the control factors, as, you know, the Nixon and this moral majority. What was it called, the moral majority? The majority of the morals.
The moral majority.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's been racist. It's destroyed, you know, social environments. It has caused violence. You know, the prohibition of America. I mean, it goes on and on. And we, right now, the United States of America, I am not bragging about this in any way, but we really, truly look like an intellectual third world country compared to Canada and Mexico right now.
Yeah, they just ran past.
Is that even a thing? An intellectual third world country? I'm saying that, you know what I mean. The point I'm trying, you know. Keep going.
Yeah, it makes us look completely stupid. I mean, the entire world. They're doing research all over the world where they're finding, you know, amazing things with cannabis, and here we are still debating. I mean, Epilix or whatever, you know, was just rescheduled for the one particular drug, and then completely ignored. Where we're still debating, Michigan, Laura has decided, hey, you need a medical marijuana card to buy CBD from Amazon.com. Well, the federal government is totally ignoring it. They're totally ignoring, like, whatever the rules are. I know that it's illegal. Technically, CBD is illegal according to the federal government, but it just makes us look stupid around the entire world when we are supposed to be a world leader, and it's a world where we've fallen so far behind